call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 14, 2025 regular scheduled Port Clinton City Council meeting at Port Clinton City Hall and the Linden Hartlaub Chambers. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence reflection for those protecting us in our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. The clerk, please call the roll.
Beth Gilman.
Present.
Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Richard Morgan.
I'm here.
Avery Robinson.
Present.
Kath Lotus.
I'm here.
Jerry Trolley.
Present.
Kathy King.
Here. Thank you. Council, you previously received the December 17, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Then do you have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Avery.
Thank you, Mrs. Otis. Any discussion? Okay, a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mrs. Otis to approve the December 17, 2024 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The minutes are hereby adopted. The chair notes certification is made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comments. Move on to executive officer reports. Council, the clerk previously emailed out the 2024 rules of council. We will just review those. If there's no changes, I will just have the suggested changes. I will just have the clerk change the date to 2025 and make sure the names are correct on the front of it too. So, okay. And then we can, if council so chooses, we can vote on it at the next meeting. So, there's a new ordinance, 1-25. Administration has asked it to be passed as it is time sensitive on its first read. There are two new resolutions. Resolution 25-1 is also, the administration has also asked that it be passed on its first reading as it's time sensitive. Mr. Velo will talk about that during his time. And then there's resolution 25-2. It can just go to its full 3 reads. And that is all I have this evening. So, and the mayor is not here. Auditor, Mr. Velo.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, good evening. A couple of quick comments as we've closed the financial books on the calendar year, fiscal year 2024. The general fund is in the strongest position starting January 1st, and it has been the past several years, which is good, which means revenue is up, expenses are moderated. And then I can also comment on income tax collection. Income tax fund drives the general fund, as you all know. This year, the income tax total revenue was just over 3.58 million. Last year, for reference, the prior year, 2023 was 3.52%. No, I'm sorry, million. Just over. So those receipts have gone up, which is good. We appreciate the work of the office to get the money, the tax revenue that the city is owed by residents and employees and businesses within the city. Happy to answer any questions about that. Second, seeing none. Ordinance 2724 is on its second read tonight. There's a proposed amendment which Ms. Otis has, and I believe intends to make a motion to amend ordinance 2724. I believe a copy of that in its entirety is before you all. Request that council adopt the amendment and approve the ordinance upon its second reading tonight. Looking towards budgeting for the full year of 2025, producing revenue estimates, which is required in the process. I then certify those to the county auditor, the county budget commission. They give a thumbs up and return what's called our certificate of estimated resources for the year. And that set a limit to what we're allowed to appropriate as a city, which is an ordinance that goes before you all, hopefully to be passed by the end of February. The temporary budget under which we're operating last week of February. So you should see that at the next meeting, and ideally you should be able to go to full 3 readings. The second January meeting, meeting 1, and meeting 2 in February. I can answer any questions about that. Now we're later. For the budget next year, there's a couple things that we can talk about, some fun things. Mr. Chrisman will talk about the urban forestry grant, and then we have a request of council tonight pertaining to urban forestry management services. And I believe all council was made aware, and you have hard copies before you. The city was awarded a U.S. Department of Transportation grant, modest but important grant of $100,000 for planning activities. Federal Highway Administration. You recall that the city pledged and council blessed in legislation a cost share to match the $100,000 of federal funds with $20,000, so that would be built into the budget for this year. We'll be the finance lead and project lead on it. It will be a reimbursement grant from Department of Transportation. The Park District pledged $10,000 cost share, and Greater Sandusky Partnership that pledged $15,000 in cost share for a total project cost of $145,000. It may not cost that much, but just a couple notes about it. I'm personally excited about it because it was an incredibly competitive field. Over 350 applications nationwide went in. There were only 14 winners, including ours, the only Ohio project. $100,000 might seem low coming from the feds. That was the minimum request that anyone could make for planning dollars, and we thought it would be strategic to ask for the minimum. And we think the planning project will cost about that. So I think there's what's called the budget narrative to supplement the press release and project summaries of all the other winners for you. So there will be a grant agreement that will be presented by U.S. Department of Transportation, just like all the infrastructure stuff that we've been doing. Ask for council's approval and legislation for that grant agreement. There shouldn't be any surprises, and we should be able to present it to you and say in the next month or so. Don't hold me to that. Things can be delayed. I'm happy to answer any questions about that. Any questions or comments about it?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Move on to treasurer's report.
All right, the bed tax, these kind of represent we think the final numbers for 2024. So our expected revenue for the bed tax was $330,000, and we collected $378,327.79. And our expected dock tax was $20,500, and we collected $22,628.39. So we're approximately $50,000 over budget there in collections. And on the rental registrations, we budgeted $30,000, we collected $67,000. So we're up $37,000 there for a total of around $87,000 over budgeted amounts for 2024. Thank you.
Thank you. Law director's not here, safety service director is not here, city reports, Mr. Chrisman.
Thank you, Madam President. With the urban forestry grant, we've been getting to work. Over the last month, we've mitigated the hazard of 38 trees around town. We've also begun to work with the Ohio Department of Forestry to develop a planting schedule and a planting plan to further utilize those grant funds to address urban forestry around the city. As a part of that, we need to solicit some expertise to come in and help coordinate those planning efforts. We're going to be releasing an RFQ to try and hire an urban forester to come help shepherd some of the planning efforts related to the urban forestry grant. so that we can develop a planting schedule to cover the next 3 to 4 years and continue to mitigate the remaining hazards around town. That's all I have.
Madam President,
Yes.
at this time, I would like to make a motion to move to authorize and direct city officials to advertise for bids and enter into contract negotiations for urban forestry planning and management services.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Otis. Any discussion or questions? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Trolley, as he stated, about the grant. Second by Mrs. Hovis. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Thank you, everyone. Anything else, Mr. Christopher?
Nothing else, Madam President.
Thank you. We'll move on to committee reports. Finance, Ms. Hovis?
Nothing.
Thank you. Environment, Public Works, Mr. Trolley?
No, but are we keeping the same committees this year?
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, yes. So,
Nothing tonight, but with everything going on, my committee members, I'm gonna have a meeting soon. I'll let you know when.
okay. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. We're going to have a meeting before the next council meeting in 2 weeks from tonight. Ms. Schenker was to give us the information, but I'll get it sometime between now and then and send it off. Before next meeting, by 5:30.
Economic and Community Development, Ms. Gilman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Move on to correspondence. Under correspondence, we have the Ohio Ethics Commission Accounting Reminder 2024 Financial Disclosure Statement to be filed in 2025. So everyone should have received the email, however you have it set up. And I can't remember what the date is, but it's usually in May. Either one of them has it, has to have it. So. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the correspondence as stated?
Madam President, I move to have the correspondence accepted as is.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Any discussion? We have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mr. Robinson to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The correspondences are accepted as stated. Move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have nothing under third readings. Under second readings, will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 27-.
Ordinance number 27-4, Amendment 1, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2-24 of the city of Port Clinton.
Thank you. Does council wish to take the action as to ordinance 27-24?
Madam President, I move to amend ordinance 27-24 as described in amendment number 1.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Foley. Any discussion? We have a motion by Ms. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Trolley to amend ordinance 27-24 as stated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Avery Robinson? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Thank you. Beth Gilman?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Richard Morgan?
Yes.
Kathy King?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Pat Hovis?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 27-24 is hereby amended. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 27-24?
Madam President, I
So,
move to waive the three required readings.
thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, second by Mr. Trolley to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 27-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Avery Robinson?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Kathy King?
Yes.
Pat Hovis? Yes. Richard Morgan?
Yes.
Beth Gilman?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 27-24?
Madam President, I move to adopt ordinance 27-24.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Second.
I have. Any discussion? I have a motion by Ms. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Robinson. Will the clerk please call the roll or to adopt ordinance 27-24. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yep.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Avery Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 27-24, as it was amended, is hereby adopted. We will have to first readings. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 1-25?
Ordinance number 1-25, an ordinance supporting the Ohio Municipal League's challenge of the AT&T's tariff application at the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 1-25?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Trilling.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings of ordinance 1-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 1-25. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 1-25?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
make a motion to retain the emergency clause in ordinance 1-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 1-25. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yeah.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained as to ordinance 1-25. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 1-25?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
make a motion to adopt ordinance 1-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hovis. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 1-25. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Avery Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 1-25 is hereby adopted. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 25-1?
Resolution 25-1, a resolution agreeing to cooperate in the Park Districts of Ottawa County 2025 Parks and Trails Improvement Grant Program for the purpose of providing outdoor recreation improvements.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 25-1?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings of resolution 25-1.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Hovis. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to resolution 25-1. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3, the adopt.
No, 3 required.
3 required readings are waived as to resolution 25-1. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 25-1?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
I move that I make a motion that we adopt resolution 25-1. What? There is no emergency clause.
It says declaring emergency.
Where?
25-1?
Oh, shoot.
Resolution.
It's all right.
125,
Speak up, honey.
My bad.
That's fine.
Just keep it Jerry in line. I was looking at 1-25 and I got confused.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt resolution 25-1. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 25-1 is hereby adopted. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 25-2?
Resolution 25-2, a resolution authorizing the sale of personal property by internet auction.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 25-2?
Madam President,
Yes.
I motion that we wait for the required reading.
Oh, nope.
Oh, I think
No.
That one can go to
until
three
the
readings.
next reading, we can hang out a little longer.
Yeah, nope, that's fine, so. Okay, seeing none, this resolution 25-2 can be moved to a second reading on January 28th, 2025. We'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan?
I have nothing.
Okay. Mr. Robinson? Okay. Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. I think that our workers, our city workers are doing a good job of cleaning up even with the snow that we had an hour and a half ago, plus the other day, but it's awfully cold out there.
Yes, it is.
Are we
Thank you.
are we ever gonna have an ice pond up this winter? Or remember we've talked about that before, or an ice rink? Remember that?
The police department, if FOP does it, if
Have
they're,
you heard anything?
I don't know if they're gonna do it or not, so. Ms. Solis?
Nothing tonight, Madam
Thank you. Mr. Crowley?
Of course. Welcome back, everybody, after a nice holiday season. Hope everybody had a good and safe time. I just want to make a comment. It's going to be quite an exciting time to be a Port Clinton City Councilman and citizen in these next couple of years. We're going to see massive changes in town, and it's all for the good. So buckle up and hold on. That's all I have. Oh, no, personal thank you to Mr. Crispin for the great work on the grant. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. King?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Okay. That's it. Mrs. Gilman?
There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. I did see them working on the water line that we talked about at the last meeting, so saw the trucks around. And ahead of the upcoming extreme weather, I just hope everybody stays safe. It's going to be pretty serious cold weather event, so just stay safe and healthy and warm. And if you want to sled, Tapto's pretty busy right now, so I invite everybody down to Kathy and my neighborhood and check it out.
Hot chocolate? I have hot chocolate.
I have hot chocolate. I'll go to Kathy's and watch you from her window as you go down the hill. I'll be more than happy to do that. So, but I hope you get to enjoy it. Just nothing else, Madam President. That's it.
Madam President,
Yes.
just a couple comments on the grant and the transformation that Mr. Torelli spoke eloquently about. Resolution 25-1 is the Park District grant for, it is a $50,000 request. That's the maximum that they will allow. If we're successful, we'll know in about a month. Until Valentine's Day, I think, is when they intend to make it work. So that's nice and quick. The Park District was gracious and provided, I believe it was $17,000 approximately for the previous improvement over at Portage Park and the new playground over there. So I'm excited and I feel optimistic about that grant going in. That would match, I don't think we've notified council that Ohio Department of Natural Resources NatureWorks grant awarded Ottawa County's full allocation to the Waterworks Park Splash Pad project. And so that'll be going through approximately $32,000 or $33,000. Plus the private commitment from a local philanthropic couple. So we hope to present a plan to you all later this month and include that in the budget for 2025, consistent with the approval of the park amenities plan you all did and approved late last year. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great news. Thank you.
Great news.
Nice work. So, seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Do I have a second? I'll second. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mrs. King to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same sign. Thank you, we're adjourned. Okay,